Qualcomm Stadium is many things: challenge, opportunity, even a white elephant. But is it surplus city property? Hundreds of San Diego Unified staff may be laid off or not, but staff size has increased as enrollment has declined. And the new Africa Rocks exhibit showcases the San Diego Zoo's evolving thinking on the treatment of captive animals. I'm Mark Sauer. The KPBS Roundtable starts now. Welcome to our discussion of the week's top stories. I'm Mark Sauer, and joining me at the KPBS Roundtable today are Roger Sholey, who covers growth and development for the San Diego Union Tribune. Hi, Roger.
Hey, Mark.
Good to have you here today. Reporter Ashley McGlone of Voice of San Diego. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Mark.
Glad to have you back again. And reporter John Wilkins, also of the Union Tribune. Hi, John.
Hello, Mark.
Great you're here today. Well, it has hosted Super Bowls, the World Series, and decades of professional football and baseball games, some of them entertaining, even meaningful. But now the Qualcomm Stadium site in Mission Valley is being tagged with the inglorious label of surplus city property. And Roger, before we get to this whole surplus designation, there was a kerfuffle yesterday that broke out over this memo and the whole Soccer City development involving the city attorney. Tell us about that memo. Who was it intended for?
Well, it was a memo from the city attorney's office to the city council and the mayor about the legal issues surrounding the Soccer City project. And it was marked confidential. It should not have been public. And lo and behold, it made its way actually into my hands via the attorney for Soccer City. He said, "Oh, we got this memo," and I said, can I have a copy?" He said, "Sure." And he didn't say anything about it being confidential or you shouldn't have it, and I was tipped off to it by the fact that he mentioned it in one of his memos that it was made public to earlier this week.
All right. We'll all come visit you in jail, I'm sure. City Attorney Mara Elliott, she described the leak as a betrayal of San Diego taxpayers. Here's what she told Andrew Bowen, our KPBS Metro reporter.
Putting out a 16-page confidential memo that's flagging potential issues and possible litigation is something that should have been kept within that very closed group of individuals who should have the best interest of San Diego at heart and not the best interest of a proponent of a citizens initiative.
All right. Now, what damage does she think this is going to do?
Well, if you read the memo, it seems perfectly innocent. It's basically an explanation of the legal issues surrounding the project, and the issue for her is that it sort of tips off to the Soccer City people what issues they are concerned about, and they could prepare their case. I don't think that's really true because anybody could see that there are issues. Many people have already mentioned them in a number of ways. Every attorney in town that's interested in this has come out with some comment about these things.
And the city attorney had a public memo already.
So this is just a bit more legal. They said 12 are attorneys. Yeah. I guess with nothing else to do, spent all this time doing this memo, and all of a sudden it was made public.
Right. And some of the issues are that you're certain to face litigation over this deal and some other red flags that the city attorney had raised. All right, before we get away from this, what did Nick Stone of FS Investors have to say about where he got the memo and the whole flap?
He didn't say who gave it to him. He just said that nobody from a city employee gave it to him. But it's not just the fact that 10 people, the mayor and 9 council members got it, their staffs got it, other people in the city got it. Who knows how many copies were floated around City Hall.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if how deep they want to investigate and how far that goes. Let's move on to this whole idea about declaring Qualcomm Stadium surplus property. So what does that mean under California law?
Well, it means that if a property is declared no longer needed by a city, an agency, they're supposed to put it up for bids, first from affordable housing agencies, and then to parks, and then to infill developers, and to transit-oriented development, enterprise zones. So there's kind of a list of who they're supposed to let in on it before it's made available to the public.
All right, and it would be that 166 acre, I'm trying to remember?
No, really, actually,
and the Murphy Canyon
the city charter only allows up to 80 acres to be sold. So they wouldn't, if they were going to sell the acres, they'd have to have a public vote by city voters, and if it's leased, which is actually the proposal of Soccer City, it wouldn't be voted on by the public.
All right. Now, who's pushing this idea of let's go the surplus property route?
Councilman David Alvarez and 3 of his colleagues sent a memo to the Council President Myrtle Cole the other day saying, can we discuss this on a future city council agenda? The problem is that they don't have any power to declare anything surplus. It's the mayor's job as the head of the city to keep track of city assets, and if there's something that's surplus, it's the mayor's duty to do that.
Okay.
So I don't know how the city council expects to free this up and by itself say this is surplus, let's sell it to the highest bidder.
But they do have the power to get this on the agenda. If
Right.
four folks send a memo off the city council, all of a sudden they got to talk about it, and that means public comment, and they're going to throw this back out there for another slap at the
Right.
piñata with the election off till next year at this point, right?
Well,
So I'm curious how a surplus designation would affect San Diego State.
well, that's another interesting question because San Diego State is not one of the preferred recipients of preferential treatment. It says city, school districts, park departments, city agencies, other agencies. But if, according to the memo that the Soccer City people said, because they are a university, you'd have to be a housing agency to get preference first. So, actually, if you wanted to be somewhat diabolical about this, you could say, well, why don't they just put it on the ballot, vote it down in November this year, and then they could free it up for competition in 2018. But by the way the city council has in mind, they're basically trying to set up a competition between FS and everybody else.
Now, you said the ball is in the mayor's court when it comes to surplus city property. What's Kevin Faulkner saying about this whole idea?
Well, it's a little unclear. He says that after 2018, when the Aztec Stadium lease contract ends, then they were not going to plan on having any more events in Qualcomm Stadium, so the building itself would be closed down or mothballed, but the rest of the property continues to be car dealerships and whatever other events go on the parking lot. So he says that technically it's not surplus yet.
Now, does this idea really have any chance of bearing fruit?
Well, you could spin a whole bunch of ideas on what could happen. My favorite thought is that some other developer comes up with their own plan, they circulate their own petition, they get that on the ballot in November of 2018, so we have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 other options all on the ballot, and we can all pick and choose which one we want to vote on. And the only problem is that it's pretty expensive for some developer to do that.
Yeah. And what happens if they all win?
I don't know. If it's a citizen initiative, I guess the one that gets the most votes would win.
Yeah. I mean, it's just remarkable. So they really, already you're asking a lot of voters next year with Soccer City, potentially this expansion of the convention center downtown and other stuff with the revenue from the tourist tax and all of these things that we've talked about in the show several times. But now everybody's gonna have to be a land use expert and go in and vote and pick among 5 choices if it were to ever come to it.
Well, in San Diego, in recent years, since this whole idea of ballot box planning came about, actually nobody's ever won that kind of a vote. So the chances are maybe, I guess, that the voters will say, when in doubt, vote no, is usually what the default decision is by the public.
And again, it wouldn't be an onerous 2/3 vote on this particular case, right?
Right, and it's just San Diego City voters as well.
Okay. But this time lag till fall of 2018, it does give San Diego State another chance to come in and maybe talk to Soccer City or have their own idea. It does, as you say, give some other folks ideas, opportunity to step forth.
Well, actually, before that, the major question is whether the Major League Soccer will decide on the 2 to 4 teams they're going to award franchises to, because if there are 4 available, you've got 12 cities competing, including FS on behalf of San Diego. If they select 4 before November, then the whole vote is kind of moot. It pairs. On the other hand, if you read the initiative, it doesn't really specify only soccer as the sports team that could use that. It could be anybody with a sports franchise. It could be the North American Soccer League. That's the latest one that's been interested in San Diego.
Or their Major League Lacrosse team, or
Major
who knows?
League water polo
Outdoor
or
hockey.
something.
All right. Before we get off this segment, When will the council take up the whole surplus city property thing? Is it docketed for next month?
It's supposed to be within 30 days of their request, so that would be like the last week of July.
Before their big August recess. All right, well, see what happens as that comes back into the public realm. Well, we're going to move on. Student enrollment in San Diego Unified Schools has been declining in recent years. It would stand to reason that teacher and staff numbers in the chronically cash-strapped district would decline as well. But that hasn't been the case. So now we're at the time of year when teachers and staff are facing the possibility of layoffs to meet a budget crisis. So, Ashley, start with those declining numbers, which you had kind of a hard time getting from the district, did you not?
Oh, yeah. And I was lucky to stumble across the enrollment figures that I did because it splits out district-wide as well as district-run schools and charter schools, which are within the district but operate independently and separately. And importantly, every time a student leaves for a district-run school to a charter school, that money for that student that comes from the state goes to those charter schools. So
a lot at stake then to keep
a lot, yes, very much. And the district's done a lot to try to now compete with those charter schools who are kind of luring away various populations of students. But yeah, so enrollment numbers we've mostly had, but what we see district-wide overall is from even just the last couple of years, 2013 to 2016, overall a drop of 2,000 students, but within just the district-run schools, which again directly ties to their budget, it's a 4,800 student decrease. So enrollment is definitely declining. They project it will continue to decline over the next couple of years. But we did ask for staff numbers from the district back in March. And we've been waiting very patiently for those. I said, you know, I want to compare because there's been a lot of discussion as they deal with the budget cuts of, yes, these cuts are very painful. We're laying off 1,500 employees was the plan. But, you know, we're making great strides towards right-sizing our district. Enrollment has been declining. We're kind of bringing maybe this in line with our budget and with our enrollment. But we've waited for staff numbers. We finally just got a couple of numbers, which aren't perfect, but they do show budgeted staff from December 2013 to December 2016 has risen by like 347 positions.
Even with the declining enrollment.
Yeah, at the same exact time as declining enrollment, exactly.
So why does the district say they needed more staff in this period?
They say Jonas Salk Elementary has opened. That necessitated some new hires. They said there's been an increased need for translation services and counselors and financial clerks for some of the high schools. They said anything beyond that, they'd have to do more analysis, and they just don't have time.
Mm-hmm. And they're keeping some schools open that are underserved that some people are saying we should close.
Right. Yeah, they're definitely haven't moved to close any schools amid the enrollment.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about the enrollment notices. They go out every year. There's always a big number to start, but there was a big number this year. What was it originally, and what are they saying now? Yes.
Yes, yeah, back in March.
I'm sorry, the layoff notices.
Yeah, they topped 1,500, and that included like 950 teacher layoff notices. Mm-hmm. So that was a big deal. What happened just on Tuesday was the superintendent, Cindy Martin, kind of nonchalantly mentioned informally during her normal report without any sort of presentation, actually teacher layoff notices we anticipate before the start of next school year, which is coming up pretty quick, will drop below 200. That's like an 80% almost decrease for the teachers. Yeah. That's really big. Mm-hmm. And what also struck me about that was they did this big early retirement incentive back in May, and 538 teachers took that incentive, which came with a year's salary paid out over 5 years. But for that to work, you're trying to get the veteran teachers to leave. And yes, their whole effort is to be able to hire back some of the laid off, newbie teachers at a cheaper price. But with Martin's new claim, that means the retiree count is going to be surpassed by like more than 200 additional recalls. And so my question was, well, where's the money coming from for that? Because you said you don't have money, and you recently told these teachers that you had to leave the payroll. So they didn't really say much beyond we're still in the process of matching vacancies with, our recall. But it's possible, a retiree could cost quite a bit more than a new teacher. So maybe they're getting like a 3-for-2 type of thing where they can hire back 3 for the price of 2 retirees and at least break even, because we're presuming that all those additional rehires are coming at no additional cost, but they really haven't said how they're paying for all those additional teachers to come back.
Is some of this fluctuation due to the uncertainties about the money they get from the state, or what?
Which fluctuations exactly?
In their own budget numbers in terms of how much money they have. Is that
in the between like May and today? There hasn't been a huge giant swing, so it is sort of strained. Like again, where's the money coming from? If your projections haven't gone way up or way down, what's happening here?
I don't understand why you can't get the numbers. What's the hold up on the school district disclosing public information on their budgets?
That beats me. I've been waiting. The I put in a request in March for just tell me how many staff you've had each year for the last several years, just to do a basic analysis on this. They were due June 7th, I think, and I've been told actually maybe you'll get them July 21st, like 144 days later. They just said they're busy. Finance is very busy trying to deal with these cuts and, kind of keep waiting. So.
All right, I did want to move on to another story I had, which was the story in Voice about Sweetwater Union High School District, the big scandal we had several years back and all. Remind us about the high points of that scandal.
So it's been about 6 years since Superintendent Jesus Gondara was fired after a marathon 7-hour closed-door board meeting with attorneys in the school board. Those 6 months prior to his departure, there have been a series of stories about all sorts of issues going on in the district. I was then at the Union Tribune helping to cover a lot of that. As many people know, he was fired, but then 6 months after that, the district attorney executed search warrants on the homes of various school board members and contractors, and then proceeded with a corruption case against them alleging pay-to-play bribery scheme. I think a total of like 250 charges were filed, much of them against Sweetwater defendants. They included felony bribery, felony conspiracy. In the end, 22 of the charges stuck, so a much smaller portion.
But still serious charges involving multiple people out there.
Felony conspiracy, the Superintendent Gondara, a former school board member, Greg Sandoval, school board member Pearl Quinones pled guilty to felony conspiracy.
And your story this week was very interesting, excuse me, on the backstory of a small group of parents and some community activists. Tell us, who are they and what were the hurdles they faced?
So much. So yeah, missing from a lot of the coverage, although there was tons of coverage at the time, is kind of the stories and perspectives of this small group of very vigilant, active, vocal parents, grandparents, teachers who went to the school board, had concerns, realized things weren't adding up in the school board documents, and just demanded better. Their contact, they actually took their information and their concerns to the FBI initially, then they took it to the district attorney, and the district attorney credited their contact with kicking off her investigation. So I felt like it was good to hear from these folks.
And we do have speaking of hearing from them, Kathleen Cheer is a grandparent of Sweetwater students, and here's a bite from her about after the sentencing of the former superintendent.
Please understand, everybody out there, you need to get involved. This country is going to hell in a handbasket unless you do. More Gondaras, more Sandovals, more Quinoneses are out there. Do your work. Know who you're voting for.
We got one more bite from Deputy District Attorney Leon Shore about what's happened since these prosecutions began.
There's been a lot of changes that have been made throughout the community, not just in the affected school districts, but also the different public officials throughout the county and frankly throughout the state are taking a lot more seriously the reporting requirements, the conflict of interests, and know that if they violate, that someone's actually looking and someone's going to try to prosecute, and in this case, successfully prosecute.
All right, a couple seconds left in this segment. Is it pretty stable out there now? The water's calm?
So much different. The superintendent that's there now was actually ousted under Gondara, and now she's back at the helm. I'm actually supposed to talk to her soon to see how things are going, but much quieter. They have a very active bond oversight committee that's kind of watching them like a hawk, but from what it sounds like, very different.
All right, we'll look forward to your follow-up then on what's happening out there now. Well, travel anywhere in the world and mention you're from San Diego. It's likely people will remark on what a great zoo we have. You might even be surprised to encounter, as my wife and I did at a ranger station deep in the Amazon jungle of Peru, that the zoo funds wildlife projects all over the world. This week marks the phased opening of a major new exhibit that embodies the zoo's evolving philosophy about keeping animals in captivity. John, start with this new exhibit. What are the high points with Africa Rocks?
Well, it's called Africa Rocks. It's 8 acres, costs $68 million to put together. It's going to highlight 6 different habitats from the African continent: savannas, highlands, the coastal areas. So it's an opportunity for them mainly to highlight a lot of animals and plants that we aren't all that familiar with. Some of the big ones from Africa we know, the elephants and the rhinos.
The big cats and all.
Yeah, these are smaller animals that maybe many people aren't all that familiar with.
And penguins, which I don't know, a lot of people may not think much about penguins in Africa. You think of Antarctica.
Yeah, think of them in frozen areas. Yeah, these are penguins that are off the coast of South Africa. They're black and white, so they look familiar in that regard, but they also have a couple of pink areas, one near their eyes and another part of their body where they can actually evaporate the heat. So pretty interesting.
All right, and we'll get in a moment. I want to get into some details about their particular exhibit and what it means. But funding, who funded this big new project?
It's thousands of donations. They had 3 or 4 major donors. Conrad Previs was about an $11 million donor, and several others gave big money, and then they collected from scores of people with smaller donations.
And what's the thinking? First of all, tell us what this replaces. It was an exhibit from way back when.
From the 1930s, the old Dog and Cat Canyon, which longtime San Diegans will remember was kind of the old-fashioned grotto, sort of almost looked like a cave exhibit, and it was mostly a concrete floor, and then they'd have a moat out front, and you'd have a little railing there that people would stop at. I mean, those old exhibits were almost entirely designed for people instead of the animals, so people would come by and stare and take their pictures, and the animals would mostly sit there pretty bored.
Okay, now let's talk, because that's a good point of departure, let's talk about the whole thinking and how this has evolved and what the experience is for the animals and, of course, the people going to the zoo in terms of you know, what's happening now.
Yeah, I mean, it's evolved over decades, and this Africa Rocks has some of the latest thinking about that. The exhibits now are really more about the animals. They're about the well-being of the animals. The animals have more choice about when they can come out for the people to see. They have all sorts of enrichment, engagement activities in there for them to occupy themselves. And the exhibits are more designed to imitate what you would actually see in the wild.
Okay, and that penguin one, I want to get into the details on. That's a good example, that penguin exhibit, and tell us what's some of the details.
I found it to be a pretty stunning example of it. You walk up to it, and there are these huge boulders that mimic this place called Boulders Beach in South Africa. They've got a 200,000-gallon saltwater pool that has a shallow end, and then it drops off into an aquarium, which sort of mimics a coastal drop-off. They actually have a wave-making machine that's, you know, not surf waves, but enough of a gentle one to kind of encourage the penguins to get into the water. So it's a pretty stunning example of it. Boulder Beach.
And they deal with the poop and the penguins poop a lot, right?
They actually have a washing system built into the Cobble Beach, so they can deal with that. Yeah.
I guess they deal with that with all the animals there, one way or another. Now, theme parks, zoos, they've had to change. We've had a lot of news here in San Diego with SeaWorld and the whole Blackfish documentary. And tell us, the dramatic example is SeaWorld and how they've changed.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, you know, they had all that pressure because of Blackfish, the pressure over what was happening with Shamu. The animal rights people mostly objected to Shamu because it was an entertainment show. You had the killer whales in the pools doing the jumping and the flips and all that kind of stuff is not really behavior that you would see from them in the wild. The zoos, and San Diego Zoo in particular, has shied away from that. They put a big emphasis on conservation at the zoo. As you mentioned, they have probably 140 different projects in something like 80 countries around the world where they're working on conservation of everything from elephants to little tiny butterflies. So, and it's a big part of their push is to showcase their conservation.
John,
Roger?
you know the zoo celebrated its 100th anniversary last year, and they've been, over the last 20 years, they've been rebuilding the whole thing. And besides or beyond Africa Rocks, is the next one the Children's Zoo expansion?
Yeah, they're going to do a redo of the Children's Zoo. And the other thing people will notice if they're going there right now is there's actually a bridge that's being built that's supposed to open later this summer that will connect the Albert's Treehouse, where the gorillas are, over to the Elephant Mesa, which for anybody who goes to the zoo knows how hard it can be to get from one end to the other.
Especially with little grandkids,
if you're pushing strollers or, you know, you get a little bit older. And so it's going to improve the traffic flow. There will be pretty interesting to watch that too.
Now, it was interesting in your story. We talked about SeaWorld, and they saw a decline in revenue and, of course, in attendance because of the controversies and all. But zoos remain enormously popular. Give us those figures from your story. I mean, it's just incredible.
I think last year was about 183 million combined across the country, which they're quite fond of pointing out is more than the combined attendance for America's 4 major sports, professional sports. So they are enormously popular. But there is some shift in the public's attitude about them too, which you can see in some public polling. You see a higher interest among the public in terms of how animals in general are treated, and there's some concern about animals in captivity.
Okay, and of course you go to the zoo, you get a lot of information, and they do pride themselves in saying we're teaching people about shrinking, rainforests and other environments that are causing habitats that are causing problems in the wild for so many animals and endangered species and all. But your story pointed out people leave the zoo and it kind of goes out of there.
Yeah, so many zoos do polling of their guests when they're there or when they're leaving, and the guests almost uniformly say, oh yeah, our awareness has been heightened about endangered animals and extinction and things like that. But then when they track them later, there's not really much science that says they then go home and donate a lot of money to whatever the World Wildlife Fund or something like that.
Now, does the San Diego Zoo, are we kind of leading the way when it comes to these kinds of exhibits that favor the animals? Is that a model that's being followed now?
Yeah, and you know, just last year they had a major national association meeting for zoos and aquariums out here, and a lot of people went to the zoo, toured the zoo, were very interested in the exhibit that they have here.
Okay, and we'll see what happens with these new exhibits going forward. And of course, we do have the safari park up there, which is even more in terms of open and ranging, and the animals roaming free.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, we're about out of time, but it's fascinating stuff. We'll see what happens. And the rest of that exhibit's going to open first phase tomorrow, and the rest of it later.
Yeah, first phase tomorrow, which is the beach where the penguins are. They're going to open the giant, a huge waterfall, 65-foot waterfall. That's the largest man-made waterfall in San Diego. You can walk behind it. Hot days, it'll be full of people.
Great. All right, we'll look forward to that. Well, that does wrap up another week of stories at the KPBS Roundtable. I'd like to thank my guests, Roger Sholey of the San Diego Union Tribune, Ashley McGlone of Voice of San Diego, and John Wilkins, also of the Union Tribune. And a reminder, all the stories we discussed today are available on our website, kpbs.org. You can catch any show you missed on the Roundtable podcast. I'm Mark Sauer. Thanks for joining us today on the Roundtable.
Jikele mawen indiyamba, oh jikele mawen indiyamba, jikele mawen indiyamba. Aklenza makwenkwe, aklenza kwabamami, aklenza makwenkwe, aklenzele mgodini.